Let us discuss vested interest and contingent interest. So friends, what is vested interest? हिंदी में इसको निहित हित कहते हैं, मतलब जिसमें निहित संबंधित निहित है उसका अंतर्गत हित है, that is vested interest. Contingent interest is that interest which is incidental, संभावित है, हो सकता है नहीं भी हो सकता है, that is contingent interest. It comes under section 21 and vested interest comes under section 19. Let us start vested interest which comes under section 19 of TPA has an immediate unconditional right to property even if enjoyment is postponed and is transferable or heritable. It means the transfer of property under this section has full right of use. The person who gets the property make best use of the property. He gets all rights of that property transferred to him. In contingent interest, which comes under section 21 of TPA, depends on a certain future event. It means there is some condition attached with the property and it is expected to be fulfilled, but in certain cases when the condition is not fulfilled, that property cannot be transferred. So this is contingent interest. Vested interest is certain, while contingent interest may lapse if the condition fails. Friends, now I am taking up some examples for both vested interest and contingent interest to clear the concept. Number one, example of vested interest. A transferred property to B for life. A person transfers property B for life and upon B's death to C. There is a provision when A transferred property to B and B then after its death to C. So C has a vested interest in the remainder because the event B's death is certain to occur. B will die, it is sure, so the property will automatically transfer to C. Second is it transfers property to B to be delivered when B turns 21. Suppose A is the person whose boy is B, and when he turns up to the age of 21, that property will be automatically transferred to the boy B. B has a vested interest because the condition is guaranteed to happen. Third is a father leaves property for his daughter. A father leaves property of his daughter which she should receive after her mother's death. When her mother dies, the property which has been left by the father will be transferred to the daughter because the death is certain and so the daughter will get the property. So friends, these are the examples of vested interest. Hope you will understand this very clearly. The concept will be clear to you. Now coming to the examples of contingent interest. I have taken up two examples that will make you clear what is a contingent interest. Number one is A transferred the property to B on the condition that B constructs a house within 2 years. A is a person who is transferring his property to B, but he puts a condition. What condition? That B must construct a house within 2 years. And if he fails to construct that house within 2 years, this transfer becomes void. Second is A promises to give a house to B provided B marries C. A is a person who promises to give a boy B to marry her daughter C. Suppose if B, the boy, does not marry C, then interest fails, and so the transfer will be void. So these are the examples of contingent interest. Now friends, some question is always asked regarding the definitions of vested interest and contingent interest with examples, and also the differences between these two. So I am going to discuss the basic differences between vested and contingent interest in Transfer of Property Act 1882. So first difference is that vested interest is dealt in section 19 of TPA, and contingent interest has been described under section 21 of TPA. Nature: in vested interest, an immediate right to property, though enjoyment may be delayed. For example, it transfers property to B for life and then to C. So vested interest, an immediate transfer is there of right. There is immediate transfer of right to use that property. But in contingent interest, interest is dependent on an uncertain future event. How? A transfer property to B if B passes an exam. There is a condition. So if B passes an exam, then A will transfer that property. If B fails in an exam, then that property will not be transferred to B. Condition: vested interest is not dependent on an uncertain event. Vested interest is not dependent on an uncertain event. All events are certain in this case. In contingent interest, it depends on a condition precedent, a specific uncertain event. If that condition is fulfilled, then only transfer can be made. So this is the example of this is vested in contingent interest. Now death. If the beneficiary dies before possession. Suppose if the beneficiary dies before possession, the interest passes to the heirs. That is the condition of in the vested interest. But in contingent interest, if beneficiary dies before the event occurs, the interest fails and does not pass to heirs. Transferability. Vested interest is fully transferable and heritable. Friends, vested interest is fully transferable and heritable. In contingent interest, it is transferable, but the transfer's right remains subject to the contingency which is to be fulfilled. Otherwise, there will be no transfer. So, friends, these are the basic concepts of contingent interest and vested interest. I have tried my best to explain this in very short video. Hope you will find the content of the topic interesting for you and must prepare this for exam. So this is all about this topic. Those who have not subscribed the channel, please do subscribe, and anybody who has any comment, you can make in the comment box. Thanks for watching this video.